Sir, when you were speaking about Iran earlier, you mentioned that there have been a number of omissions from the negotiations and that therefore there were a number of outstanding risks that need to be mitigated. My question, though, is there obviously is a rationale behind the agreement with Iran. Mm-hmm. In your words, what is the strategic rationale behind this agreement, and is there a good side from it? Because at this stage, all we've heard are the negatives about that agreement.
Well, I think it's hard to be real positive about the agreement when the Supreme Leader comes out and says he's going to continue his terrorism, nothing's going to change in Yemen, in Bahrain, in Jordan. Soleimani comes out and says they're going to keep doing things. But I think the reason I believe that the agreement has got to be carried through with, and we need to implement it as best we can, is that there is not an international will to deal with this in a military way. And another war in the Middle East would be a catastrophe. I'll just tell you right up front, it would unleash even worse than we've already seen unleashed there. So what you do is you look at the rationale being you limit the potential for the Iranians to get a nuclear weapon. And when you think of some of them saying they want to wipe Israel off the map or something like that, you and I grew up at a time when the nuclear capable nations of Russia, China, France, Britain, the United States, we all knew the other guy didn't want to use it. We did not believe the Russians wanted to go to nuclear war. We came awful close at times, but there was a sense we didn't want to. The new nuclear regime that could arise, especially if Iran got one, appears to be one that wants to wipe someone off the map. And so this is worth it, I think, to try to prevent that. But now we're going to have to address the other threats, or the nations that are closest are going to feel very vulnerable. And for good reason, as you watch what's happened in Yemen, or what Lebanese Hezbollah has done right now. The only reason Assad is still in power is because the Iranians are giving him full support after Russia's regrettable veto in the UN. So as you put all these conflicting, I would almost call them rivers coming together with different threats, the one we have to avoid is the nuclear in the hands of a country that is acting like a revolutionary cause, unconcerned with their own people. And that's why I think you've got the rationale for it is you've got to try to make this work, if that makes sense. It's just to prevent a nuclear detonation. And I think there's a lot more potential for that than anyone wants to really take a chance on. And this is the best chance I think we have.